Hello guys, as in the last video we learned about Rx variable, but today we will build a real app using GetX. Okay, we will call an API, show a loader indicator, and display the data in the list form without using any kind of set state. तो इसमें क्या करेंगे कि जो हमारा ये गेट होम वाला पेज है, दिस पेज where the home view and view controller has been implemented. So in this page, we will implement an API, and the list of the data will show here. Okay, so let's start. Opening the home page controller. Here, first of all, we will take a variable where is loading, that will be of type boolean. So default value of boolean will be false, and second variable will be where page list, that will also extend with obvious type of property. And we will create a function name something like what to void. This is body of function, and whatever we pass in that function will go in this box. This is the curly braces. Sorry, this is curly braces. This is parenthesis, and where in the parenthesis we will pass all the type of properties, like we are passing some conditions. So on the basis of that condition, and the functionality will go here. Okay. First of all, we have to check the function is loading. I mean, not function. The page is getting a loader or not. So for that, we will use this try. We will use track and catch for calling API. That all the thing. In the catch box, we will use an exception. So this will gonna here, and exception we will print here, like print exception and exception. Uh, in the Dart or Flutter, the string concatenation work with the dollar sign. So with dollar and e. So this will call that exception. Okay. In the try box, value is equals to true. Okay. Why we are using dot value? We have already explained in the last uploaded video, so you can check out there. Is loading function. Final response. I think you're gonna think about something like why we are not calling DIO or HTTPS. Because we have already some properties of GetX, like get.connect. Get.connect is the property of GetX state management, where we can call the APIs also. So with the help of that, we are calling API, and that is also very useful because we do not have to call any third-party library, or we do not have to implement any third-party library. So that's why we are connecting with the GetConnect. Okay, so await uh, GetConnect. So for calling the await, we have to use async here. ASYNC. Async. Async and await is to use calling API. So that's why we are calling here. And we are calling first of all the get type of API, and the string will pass here. We have already saved a string like this. This is the API URL where all the type of post. I mean, I got this API from a Google, so this is the generic API. We can call here, call anywhere, and here we will pass the get string. Okay, so here we will pass that string, and we will get the data. So yeah. Now we will check on the basis of response, like if the response response. So here's the spelling mistake. so that's why it is not falling. Copy and paste here. If we are getting the response dot status code 200, on 200 status code we will get the response, good response, otherwise we will get the bad response. So on the basis of that we are checking. Okay, so if we are getting the 200 response, so this data will go into the response dot body. Okay, why we are saving this response dot body? Let me show you something. This base URL is copied here and opening it here. I think something. Oh, there is an internet connection issue. Wait for a second. I'm connecting with the Wi-Fi. Yeah, this all the response we are getting by that API, and this is the body. So that response we are saving here in our body. Okay. Now make some changes in the view also. But first of all, we have to stop the loading. So here finally is loading dot value is equals to false. So if we do not give this false value to this is loading variable, for that time the till that time the loader will gonna load here. So that's why we are passing this false here. Okay, so now we are going to this home page. Just hold it full code here. That this time this will gonna extend get view. Get view. In this get view, we will pass the controller. The controller name was home page controller. Okay. This home page controller, we override controller, not like this. We will use the visit here. Visit build context. Here we'll pass the context. Now we will gonna use OBX because I have already explained to you why OBX we are using. So with the help of OBX, we will fetch the value of that is loading, like OBX. In the OBX, if controller is loading is true, what will gonna return? Okay, so at the center child circular circular progressive indicator. Yeah, right. This will gonna use. Otherwise, list simple list will dot builder, and this list view builder will have index, comma, context, list title. There is something list title, and in this title there will be list of controller dot page list, and that page list will have title and body. Init, this is type of on init. On init, I mean when the application runs for the first time, or when that view controller called, that init function will called. Okay, will be called on fetch and super dot on init. This is called, and we have to call the override method. Override. Okay, we have to create one more page like for binding home page binding. dot dart. How this binding page works, let me show you. This binding page is like home. The file name and the class name will be the same. Okay. So this home page binding work like that. This will extend to GetX type of binding. So the working of this homepage binding is like what the code we were gonna write here, like get.put, get.find, the that code will gonna here in this binding page. So that's why dependencies will be globally accessible. So that's why this get.view will extend here and calling the controller in that part. So refactoring the code, sorry, reformatting the code. So now restarting the code. There is some issue like get.put find lazy put home controller this app route. Uh, we have to pass the binding type of class also because we have integrated that binding class. So and with the help of that binding class, we are calling the home page controller. So that's why this is creating some issue. So for that, we have to call that binding home page binding. So now I think it will gonna work. I don't know why it is not called here. Here. Um, where item is equals to this. So we do not have to call that whole for every time. So this item and the title is of type. Hey, finally got the issue. So the issue was the internet permission in this. So first of all, we had to pass the internet permission into the Android manifest .xml file. So this is the internet permission, and then after we had created a separate file for API calling. Okay, so this is the API service class. So in this API service class, we had called this HTTP client dot base URL. So this base URL is called here .com/post. This slash post is very important. Slash So this is the full base URL for this, and previously we were calling something different, so that was the issue. And now there is some update in the code also. Like previously we were calling it like this get connect and dot get type of base URL. Base URL was this, and this base URL is called here. Now let's check how this will gonna work. So I think this will gonna work for now because previously the base URL was different, so that's why it was creating some issue. This is the whole base URL, and previously we were not using that post, so that's why it is not getting it is not sending the response properly. So that's why there was some check, and this is the whole API integration. And for now, this is some. So let's create this response page little beautify where we are. Here we are, and this is the page all for black. And let's uncomment this. Item dot title will go into text, so something like this. This is now showing some. Now this is looking a little bit okay, and this is a title. Pass the subtitle also. Subtitle. So text. So now body will go here. There are two commas. So one of them will be removed. This is the body. Now this is looking something different. I mean, not looking so good. So we will give the maximum line. So maximum line will be here one, and for the body, I mean subtitle, the max line will be two. So I think you got some API integration on the GetX without using any third-party library. So let's recap all these things. First of all, we have created the controller. Here in the controller, let's remove this. Here in the controller, we call some uh, is loading variable and page list variable. Page list variable or anything variable name you can give here. Okay. After that, we call the function. We created a function where we can call the API. So first of all, uh, we turn this is loading variable into the true. So when the API function will call, the loader will show that time, and when we get the response, the loader will turn into false. Okay. So here in the get.connect, this is very simple function name, get.connect dot get. For post, we will use the post. In the next video, we will integrate an API with the post method. So there, how we pass the parameters, how we pass the query parameter, everything will gonna list there. Okay, in the next coming video. So for now, like this video. Okay. Uh, so here this get.connect, and for get type of APIs, we are using the get here, and getting the response. Whatever the response we are getting here, we will show. If there is any error, that show into this has error type of print statement, and if the status code is 200, then the response body will uh, response of the API will save into the page list variable. Now this whole this home page controller is called into the binding type of class. This binding class is very useful because this with the help of this binding class, the home page controller is globally accessible. Like wherever we are passing, wherever the page we are going, mm, so that will be called. So that home page binding is called here, like you can normally see in the get page previously. If we have not any binding type of class, so we can call normally like this, like a home page app route and app route name, and the page wherever we want to navigate. Okay. So but we have binding. So for the home page, this is the page, this is the view page name, and this is the binding class name. Okay. So at the page, now we can go here. This home page extend the get type of view. I mean, get view is also the property of GetX state management. Show you something again. So here we are clearing all this page and going to home page. This is the load page loader indicator shown here, and in the fraction of second the API called. That's why it is the list is called here. Now, I think you have got some knowledge about how do we can implement the API without using any third-party variable. And in the next video, we will use the API integration with the help of this get.connect, getConnect, and dot uh, post type of API. So for now, please subscribe this channel. I already know you have already subscribed this, so thank you for that.